So yeah. Welcome back, everyone. So you're gonna let me. There we go. And I will edit it now. Edit video. Dry quality, dry race. Thanks, Kieran. There we go. Title should be updated. And I'll add a thumbnail in a second. Right. Just wait to see internet. Let me know how it looks, by the way, LH. Hello, Benjamin. I'm just gonna stick that down there, and there we go. Right, let's see. If I bring that back up, please. Anyone out on a lap? We have the Renault coming through turn 1. I come into the tricky, of course, S section. Little wide there, but it's not invalidated, so you can still keep going. But of course, we'll definitely be looking to improve on this lap. It's not been the best, but it's not a bad lap so far. Now coming down to the end. Well, coming into the main straight, of course. Oh, Kieran. Well, it's gonna be tough here. Oh, you see the Renault off corrected 7. Coming to the end off sector 2, 104.56. Obviously purple in the middle sector, of course, the first one. Coming up to the quadruple right-hander. Triple apex right-hander, shall I say. A little wide on the last turn, of course, but turn 19 is quite a hard one. After that, quite fast right-hander, of course, through the last corner. 7th, 136. Who's next? Is it Bagos here, coming round the last turn to go 135.3. Who else? Iron Knight. 32.056. Ryan Thomas goes fastest. 131.908 as the laps. We'll probably slowly start coming down. And the Williams here comes across the line with a 35.830. I've had a lap there by Maxwell, some luck in this mo. Let's see who's on a Cairo. God. Naming. Try to pronounce names. Into turn 18 he goes. Nicely done there for turn 18, flat out. Of course, through turn 19. Doesn't run wide, keeps nicely on the track. Down to turn 20, of course. And coming across the line with a 133.002. Not bad, 3rd place there. 3rd and 4th for both Alphas on their first lap. It's not too bad. Maxwell on another push here. Nicely through the first sector. 25.4, not too bad from the Red Bull driver here as he's coming into the second sector, obviously now through the fast section, now down the little straight, little kink in the road, of course, to the hard brake and getting these cars nice and ready. So for the long straight exit is obviously very key here. Try and get the power down as quickly, but also not to ruin your rear tyres. Coming to the end of sector 2 now. So it runs a little wide there, but still not too bad. A 132. Now through the tricky last sector here at COTA. Make her lose a lot of time here. To turn 19 now. Nicely does it through turn 19. Sets himself up ready straight for turn 20. Not too bad through the last turn. Coming across the line with a 133.8. 6th place for the Red Bull driver, Maxwell. Let's see. Draper here coming to start his lap. Let's go on board with Draper here as he starts his flying lap. Fry again nicely out of the way. Nicely through the right-hander there, coming now through the S section, of course. Nicely through there. Okay, nice little lag there, but Draper purple in the middle sector. Rainbow him as the game seems to not be enjoying that camera, but coming into the hard braking point here. I really do like this game when it does this. There we go, coming to the end of sector 2 here. One, two, three for Draper. Purple in the middle sector is on the fastest lap so far of anybody. Can he go first place for Q1? It's going to be interesting. All these drivers are pretty close on pace. So it's going to be interesting to see who goes out and who stays in. And who gets the pole, of course. But with that run up the hill to turn 1 doesn't really make too much of a difference. Oh, Draper loses a little bit on the exit of the last turn, but still gets 6th place. Farf is a 25 in the middle sector as he's just coming to the end of sector 2. Now coming right to the end of sector 2, of course. With a 1-2-069, Farf is purple in the middle sector. Entering turn 18, of course. Not too bad for 18, 19, 19. Farf's looking like a very quick lap, but he invalidates it right at the end of his lap. Rayner now also coming through lap 18. Lap 18? Turn 18. Let's see what Rayner can do here on his first lap, of course. So this is Q1. So far, Thomas is fastest with a 1:31.908. The only car that's in front of Rayner, of course, is the Renault of Farf, but he'll probably be on a lap, or he'll be pitting this lap, but we'll see and see. For the S's. And it's an invalidation for Rayner. Unlucky for him. Alex Force just come out of the pits. What have you been doing? Sleeping? Rocker going through turns 3, 5, 4, 5, 6. And to turn 7, of course. Exit end of sector 1. Going through turn 9 now into turn 10. Not too bad for middle sector so far. Coming into the hard braking of T11. Nicely done there by Rocco and the Ferrari. Can't deny that engine does sound beautiful. Coming down the back straight now. Beginning his car nice and ready on the right hand side of the track, ready for that left-hander off turn 12 to end the second sector. And it's a 11726 for Rocca. That's purple in the middle sector. Everyone seems to be enjoying that middle sector. Let's see what it'll be though through the last sector. And it's a 31.9. Rocca has gone to second place. H44 coming through T18. Coming to the uphill of T1, not too bad. Through T3, 4, into T5 now into T6. Not too bad for the first sector for LH44 in the Williams. But it's an invalidated lap, so wasn't doing too bad. Let's see what Rayner can do though. Coming down the back straight, of course, into turn 12, into the second sector. Let's see what his second sector split will be. It's going to be a 1.3.084, so it's not bad. Not a bad middle sector for the McLaren driver. But of course, it all depends if you can keep it in. And this lap going through turn 16, 17 and 18. Not too bad. Turn 19. Looking very good, right on the edge of the track limits, setting himself up nicely for the last turn. A little wide on the entry to the apex, but not too much it shouldn't cost him. And it's 11 for Reno with a 33.587. So it's not too bad. LH and Far for the only two not to set a lap so far with 5 minutes on the clock. LH coming around the last turn now to go for his flying lap. He's possibly got one or possibly two tries to get through. But he should get through. He's a fast driver, so definitely think he'll get through. Nicely done for the first sector, no invalidation. It's a 25.166 so far for LH44 in the first sector. Going through the kinky turn 10. Sen is caught up nicely, 40.11 for the straight, of course. Purple for the middle sector yet again. Everyone seems to be enjoying that middle sector. And obviously into the, well, triple right-hander. Turn 18, nice X out there, ready straight away for turn 19. And that's very unlucky for the Williams driver. On for a good lap. That's where it just invalidates it. And it's a purple for Far for 1.2039. So Far for setting some fast sectors, it's just kind of not invalidated this time, only way in C of course. It's a great camera angle. You see the car coming over the blind crest, downhill straight away for through 18, ready for turn 19. Nicely done there. Round the last turn. And Farf goes third with a 1.32.055. Purple in the last sector, not too bad. Thomas, so well at the moment, SP1, Rocca in the Ferrari P2, far from the Renault P3. Zyra Knight, P4. Race the Point of Stead, P5. Craido in the Alpha, P6. Quadri in 7th, Apex 8th, Mavic 9, and Draper is the top 10. Of course, that could all change. Still 2 minutes to go. LH44 has yet to set our actual lap. So you'll be looking to try and get one lap in and just try to get through. He only needs a 33.5, I'd say. But of course that could change, so a 33 dead, probably maybe 33.2, the cutoff. So let's see, Draper is on invalidated lap, a few guys on out laps. Rayners coming to the end of his lap. I was about to say, I was quite confused what Rayner had gotten. But Baggers goes 12th in the Alfa Romeo as he's starting a lap. So 12th a minute for in the Alfa Romeo for Baggers, so let's see what he can do. Through turn 1 quite nicely. Come through turns. Actually, I mean, remember what they are. So many turns to the S section, it's such a difficult track. But yeah, it was nicely through turns 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now going through turns 9 into turn 10. It's not been a bad lap so far for the Alfa Romeo driver as he just brakes, hard braking into turn 11. Now Charlie 4 has gone onto his lap, coming through sector 1. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do at the end of this lap. Hello Farf. Looking pretty fast, Farf. P3 at the current moment. Of course, I've seen some of the drivers who think they're through retiring. Thomas looks like he will end the session in first place with a 1:31.908, with Rocca in second with a 1:31.912. Goddamn preset. Well, it makes it fair for everyone. And Bagos comes into the end. Could that cost him? Rayners 3/10 up on his lap. Purple in the middle sector for Rayner. Let's see though. LH44 just ahead of Rayner. If he gets this lap in, he will have a chance of going through. Stays nicely into the track limits. No invalidated lap so far. Coming into the last turn. Turn 20 for LH44 in the Williams. Can he get through? 10th place. And that should be him through. Rayner 14th on the cusp of dropping out. 7th pits. Which means Rayner comes into the pits and should be it. So, 3 drivers out. That's only have 18. But it wasn't a bad qualifying. Was pretty close, to be honest. I thought there was only 2 drivers who really struggled, but anyone from Maxwell, Magnus and Rayner all could have went out. Only a few tenths between them. From 16th pretty much to that was pretty close. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Q2, of course. LH44 just scraping through after a couple of laps of invalidation, but he must be happy with himself, getting 10th place, of course. But that does mean we have to say goodbye in Q1 to Maxwell, I can't even say it, Kifu, and Savant, all out. I will just say, sorry I butchered your names. But yeah. Magnus getting through by the skin of his teeth, 20,000. LH44 saying he hates the track. Hey, you got 10th place, Kieran. It's not bad. I mean, yeah, you did screw up for a couple of laps, but it wasn't bad in the end. 10th place. Hey, look at this week, Kieran. LH, you're ahead of Rayner. who thinks he might get a podium. That was a very interesting Q1 indeed. So now 15 drivers. So yeah. Now just go in, I'm gonna 50 minutes. It's a lovely Q2. I could tell you were going cautious on the last lap. After you on a good lap just before it, and you screwed up on the second to last turn, turn 19. Just gonna tab wide. Track will do it to you. But I've now seen drivers leaving the pits off course. Be interesting to see what tyres some go on. Will be mediums, hard, any hards maybe, softs definitely for some, mediums for LH, mediums for the Red Bull. I guess mediums all around at the minute. It's looking that way. Everyone just... Oh, we got our first soft runner. And Benjamin Cardiff. Okay, being quite interesting. I'll say Thomas, who was fastest in Q1 on mediums. It's the point of Kuduti, sorry. God, me and pronouncing names. It's going to happen quite a lot, so bear with me. But so we only have one driver in the McLaren of Benjamin out so far on softs. Be interesting to see how he does, of course, everyone else on the medium tyres. Let's just double check. Yep, everyone on mediums. So we still got a few out, but Rocker looking like he'll be coming out on the mediums. Still a few saying softs, but we'll need to see when they come out what they're actually on. Let's go on board with LH as he does the first lap of Q2. Let's see what you can do. Up the hill into turn 1. Obviously it's quite a wide turn 1 entry. Kisses Apex nicely, gets ready straight out for turn 2. Going through turn 2. Sets the car ready for turns 3, 4, 5. Well, we'll lift off through 5. We'll lift off obviously on the exit of 6. Sets the car ready on for turn 7. Not too bad so far. Through turn 8. Purple in the first sector, of course, be the first car out, but through turn 9 wasn't too bad. Turn 10, quite easy, full flat. Now the hard braking off T11. So downhill. Left-hander. Obviously straight on the power, down the back straight. Little kink downhill, back uphill obviously. And again, a downhill braking for turn 12, the end of sector 2. Hard on the brakes. Brake as late as you dare, of course. So 1.3129, not too bad through there. Now going into turns 14, gets ready for the little left-hander, then into turn 15. Also it's quite a wide turn 15. Also setting the car ready straight away for turn 16, straight into turn 17 of course, and 18 as they're all 3 turns in 1. Straight away 18, getting the car straight onto the right side of the track, ready for turn 19. Try not to go too far wide, nicely onto the curb, run as wide as you can, through turns 20. Flat on the power, coming across the line, 133.728 for LH44. And Cairo goes instantly better with a 133.6. The Maverick does a 134.161. Alright, let's see, who else? Couple drivers on invalid lap times, it looks like. It could be Benjamin who is next across the line, and it is. Benj goes fastest for 132.9 on the sauce of course, but that puts him in a good place for making it out of Q2. It's going to be interesting to see what medium runners actually need to swap. Drivers like Thomas should be able to get through, but interesting to see as he comes to the end of Sector 1. Doesn't set a purple, but it sets a 25.154, which is quite respectable. Quite fast indeed, obviously. It's going to be hard to beat that lap of Benjamin Cardiff on the medium tyres, but it was a really solid lap from Benjamin. Obviously now coming downhill into turn 11. It's very interesting indeed. Up the hill. Nice view of the, off the wheel. Nice and sharp on the brakes. Late turning obviously for turn 12, trying to go too wide. Set the car straight away for turns 13 and 14. Obviously, want to go as wide as possible, ready for the turn in for turns 15, but quite nicely. Straight over to the left hand side for turns 16, 17, and 18. One swooping turn. Nicely so far for Thomas as he goes through the turn 19. Ooh, a little bit of a slider out of the exit, but it shouldn't be too much. Cost him a lot of time, of course, but comes across the line with a 1:33. Oh, should see him comfortably through. I've seen Rayner just coming out off the pits. Who's closest to setting a lap? Magnus at the current moment is 8th after just finished that, but here we go, the Alpha Male of Bagus through turn 1. Turn 1 also been a very interesting turn with how wide it is, many lines through it. Pick one you like and go with it. Now turns 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So as you set up ready for turn 8, it's a purple in the first sector for the Alfa Romeo driver. Through turns 9, now into turns 10. Obviously turn 10 really not being a turn, but what can you do? It's classified as a turn, so we go with it. Turn 11, late on the brakes. Of course, it's a very fast sweeping track, so there's not a lot of hard braking points, but the ones you do, you need to make up. And good evening, Patrick. How are you? Turn 12, nicely through there, coming to the end of Sector 2 to set a 1 minute 3:06.3. Nice on turn 15, not too bad, gets the power down quite nicely. Also gets the car ready straight for 16, which obviously then leads into 17 and 18. It's good to hear that, Patrick, it's good to hear that. Coming into the last turn now. Vargas has been on a flying lap here. Can he push Benjamin for that first place? And no. It's a 34. Wow. Purple in the first, decent middle sector. Must have just been a little slower, but let's see. Rayner just starting his lap. Going for the S's off Sector 1. At the minute, Thomas is looking like favourite, but of course, everyone's just trading purple sectors right now as Rayner goes purple in the first. LH, how are you feeling with 6th place? You've actually been able to get a lap in first try. Coming into turn 12 now, Rayner hard on the brakes. Nicely done in the second sector, 1:30.17, so not too bad for Rayner. Of course, one of the runners of the league, so he's got to make himself look good. I'm going to turn 18, nice exit through there. Nice into turn 19, not too bad of a lap so far for Rayner. Where will it put him, of course? 9th, not bad for the McLaren driver, 9th place ahead of Maverick, Magnus and Bagos. Farf is also on a lap but invalidated, so he'll be going just to go for one. Oh, Apex setting the fastest first sector. It's going to be interesting to see what Apex can do through this lap. Let's run on board with him. There he comes down into turn 11. See what he's doing here. Nicely on the brake, nicely done. Not too bad still there for Apex, coming through turn 15. Middle sector as well, purple, so this is looking like a fast lap for Apex. So far Benjamin's the fastest on the softs, but will Apex be able to go fastest in this session? God. Coming across the line now, Apex goes 11. So he's not able to keep that pace up. Save. Farf does go faster for 1:32.4, so showing his pace on the mediums, that's for sure. Gonna deny. Zach. And then Farf is fastest, as you can see. Right, Zach, what driver are you? Rayner currently on a lap, as unfortunately invalidated. Apex. Alright. Well, 3 minutes. It's going to be... Yep, never mind. Maverick goes second. Pushing, unfortunately, you down to 11th, Zach. LH also on the cusp. Where is Apex? On a slow down lap, that's for sure. Alright, let's see. Anyone really pushing? I mean, you're back, so you've got one run. Oh, sorry, that was LH. So you might want to be quick, Zach. I mean, to be fair, 11th isn't bad. Fresh tyres. Alright, let's see. Who is on a lap? Apex obviously on a slow lap. Farf coming into the pits. Maverick will be doing the same. Benjamin's on another lap on softs. Well, it's unlucky for you there, mate. Oh, look who's joined us, Matt. What was that about a podium earlier, Matt? 12 for the minute. It's not like it's a terrible place. Alright, who's actually on a lap? Draper has just started a lap, so let's go on board with him. Well, it's always something to go for, I guess. Driver of the day, fastest lap. Okay, I didn't want to do that. I saw that, Matt. Let out spell qualifying, bud. Stead has retired. Now you're thinking there's no one really could go faster, but of course Bagos is the only one who could push him out if LH goes faster and Cyro. Draper, a little bit of a slide out of turn 15. Matt, hop back in this party and come tell me your thoughts on what's going to happen in Q3 before we get there. And Draper goes 7th. LH44. 310 something his lap, just come through turn 11. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. But he's in 11th now. Oh, it's going to be quite interesting to see what he can do. Needs to get in a better lap. Of course, he's 310 up, but needs to try and keep it going as he's just come through turn 12. Purple in the middle sector for LH44. Coming up to turn 15, of course, this is the make or break lap. Out on the soft tyres, of course, didn't feel like the mediums would have got him through, but here we go. Through turn 16, 17, 18, sets the car up, ready for turn 19. At least it's on validation and boxes. Wow, we only needed a 10th. So that is Q2. Out in Q2, LH44, Q2A. I can't say your name, Zach. So don't mind it. Q2A, Rayner, Apex, and Magnus. Couple of names on there, to be honest, but fair enough. LH, you know we're being soft. It's gonna be definitely interesting, of course. At the minute, Farf on first place, but of course on medium. So anyway, and see how he does on the softs. But it's very interesting to see what does happen. Of course, Farf, Maverick, Benjamin Cardiff, Thomas, Bagels, Rucker, Zyder Knight, Draper, Stead, and Cyro all go through to Q3 for the pole position shootout. 3 softs, the rest all on mediums. It's going to be quite interesting to see how those soft runners also do in the race. I think a medium hard maybe would have been the better strategy, but anyway, and see. Could be an early safety car they're hoping for. But it'll be very interesting to see how they do, of course. So we're just waiting for the timeout rundown. So in a second. But yeah. Oh, nice lap 103. 12 minutes of Q3 underway. And we have 12 minutes for the pole position shootout. It's going to be quite interesting to see who can take pole, of course. 3 drivers are probably favourites for it, but it's going to be quite interesting to see who can get the best of the car, who struggles, and who might have the best strategy, of course, in the race. Qualifying is only for position, but ultimately the points are the goal. What do you mean bottle job, Farf? You still got a chance in it. Right, who's out? It's the Red Bull of Thomas. Don't worry about them winning. Focus on your laps and get them through. There is Thomas setting the first lap of Q3. 10 minutes to go. Thomas comes across the line, of course. Going up the hill to start his first flying lap. Nicely done through turn 1, sets the car up nice on the exit for T2. Nicely done for T2, kissing the apex, setting the car up. Obviously turn 3, 4 and 5. All ready for turn 6. Very crucial moment in this lap. Nicely through turn 7 and 8. Sets the car up nicely. Turns 8 and 9. Very fast flowing, of course. Turn 10 really isn't enough, and just kiss the apex and make sure you don't invalidate it on the outskirts off the track. Hard braking part downhill into turn 11. Not the closest to the apex, but not too bad, obviously. A little bit of time lost there, but still able to gain it back, obviously, through sector 2. Down the long straight here at COTA. Keep it on the right hand side, get the car ready for turn 12. Downhill, kiss the apex. Get the car turned as quick as I can, obviously. Turn 13 nicely through 1 minute 1:5:77 for Thomas. 13 and 14, nice little double apex. To 15, of course. So wide, let the car drift in. Not too bad, obviously. Car straight on the left for 16. Kiss the apex of 17. It's a little wide off 18. Kiss the exit 18. Get the car ready on the right hand side for turn 19, of course. Fast turn 19. Try not to go too far wide. Set the car ready for turn 20. A little bit of a short shift there, but it's a 1:31.688. Baggers comes across the line. Can he go faster? It's a 1:32.55. Carroll comes across the line, and it's a 1:32. Oh! See Draper coming across the line to go second with 1:31.8. Benjamin Cardiff coming across the line with a 1:33.7. Stead next across the line. 1:32.3. Maverick to come in the last turn, but it's not. It's going to be Iron Knight as Maverick's invalidates that. Knight goes 6th with 1:35.90. Far still in the pits, so we're waiting to see what he can do. Rocker coming out to start his lap. So let's go on board and enjoy the lap. Not a bad lap there from Rocca, showing us how to do it at the track with a 1:32.052. So it'll be interesting to see what you can do. Everyone else coming into the pits. Hope you all enjoyed that on board with Rocca. So now we just gotta wait and see when everyone comes back out, of course. But so far, Thomas showing he's got the pace with 1:31.698. That guy Draper in second in the Mercedes with 1:31.851. Cyril in the Alpha for 132.024, and in Rocket in the Ferrari for 132.052. That is the top four. Stead, of course, a few tenths down in fifth for 132.301. Maverick in the Alpha Tauri 132.532. Biggest in the other Alfa Romeo with a 132.557. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And the Racing Point has gone back out. Instead, it's the first to blink to go into a new set of softs, and of course Thomas on provisional pole at the moment, but of course that could all change. Far yet to set a lap, so anyway, and see how he does on his first attempt, of course, in this qualifying session. He's been up there through all three of them, of course, all the last two, shall I say. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see him in the top three, possibly on pole, but anyway, and see when he goes out. And Saito has retired. Don't know why. But okay. Stead's going to get caught out here with the Renault 5 coming out, but it shouldn't be too far if anyone else comes out, of course, from between now and getting the car. But here we go, Stead starting his flying lap. A few cars starting to come out of the pit, so they'll need to try and get out of the way, of course. There we go, up to turn 1. Beautiful wing stroll into turn 1. Wish we could have this for the whole lap. That would be a beautiful camera angle, but just seeing the cycle obviously from the cameras here. Coming to the end of sector 1. A little bit of a drift there for Stead as he's pushing. 3 tenths down, so he might back off and save his tyres. Anyway, and see what he does. And he has indeed. He has indeed backed off to save his tyres. So Favre will be the first driver to complete a lap with the second set of times. Okay, of course Favre hasn't done a lap so far, but there's a very good chance of being up there at the top. He'll just need to try not to invalidate and focus. But of course Favre being a good driver himself, should, there we go, and he now comes to cross the line to start his one and only attempt at pole position. Of course Thomas right now provisional pole in that Red Bull, but as far from now he's coming through turn 2. See how he does. Nicely through the S section, a little left of course because you can't go for a flag, but not too bad. 24.714. Purple in the first sector, so again, Favre showing that he's got the pace. Well, we're there with no invalidation, so we move on. Hard braking, of course, for turn 11, and nicely round. Of course, Thomas has a little bit of room, time to gain, as he wasn't perfect on his lap, but then again, no lap is perfect. So it'll be interesting to see what Thomas can do on his last lap. But Favre right now is putting the pace down. Purple in the middle sector a 1:015. It's not bad. 1 minute 1.5. Firmly into the end, coming to the end of this lap now. Favre through turn 18. Coming to the end through the last turn. And Favre invalidates it on the last turn. That must be gutting. I think if I wasn't mistaken, that would have been provisional pole. Rocca goes third. Let's see what can Draper do as he crosses the line. 31.851. Here comes Bagos, has finished his lap. Maverick come down the last. It's going over Thomas as he comes round the last turn. He knows he'll be on pole position. He goes even faster for 31.356. Thomas on provisional pole. Farfer, of course, is on an invalidated lap after invalidating 2 laps. So the grid will line up. Thomas will be on pole position, followed by that guy Draper in second. Stead, third place. Rocca fourth. Cyro fifth. Maverick sixth. Bago seventh. Cyro ninth. Eighth. Benjamin ninth. And Farf in the Renault will line up 10th. So in the end, Thomas taking pole position by nearly 5 tenths. For the Mercedes driver Draper, and obviously Rocca getting third ahead of his Irish compatriot Stead. Here goes misery. Well, new wait and see. He starts in 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll get on to the finishing lap. So, running through the grid off this FNR, Friday Night Racing, round 19, here at COTA, USA. On pole position we have the Red Bull of Thomas, followed by the Mercedes of Draper. Rocker is third in the Ferrari. Stead lines up fourth in the Racing Point, of course, as we now see the predicted pit stops. We have a medium soft medium strategy, lap 9 for the soft. I didn't actually see that, and lap 12 if you want to go straight to hard. So it's looking like it's a one-stop easy strategy, but we'll wait and see what happens, of course. Continuing on through the grid, we have Cairo in 5th in the Alfa Romeo, followed by the Maverick in 6th in the Alfa Tauri. Bagos in 7th in the other Alfa Romeo, followed by Zyro Knight in the other Alfa Tauri in 8th. Benjamin Cardiff in 9th. Farf rounds it with top 10 in the Renault. LH4 is the first to the Williams in 11th place. Kuduti in 12th. With Rayner just behind him in 13th in the other McLaren. Apex in the other Mercedes, 14th. Magnus in 15th. Bit of a poor result for Magnus, but what can he do from 15th? It'll be interesting to see. Nismo Maxwell in the other Red Bull in 16th. No Kifu in 17th in the other Williams. And correct 7th in the Renault in 18th. Of course, the tyres are the top 5 all on mediums. Maverick and Bagos on sauce, followed by Zaranite on mediums. Benjamin on sauce, Farf, LH both on mediums. Kuduti on sauce, Rayner, Apex, Nismo, Kifu and Savin on sauce with Magnus. Oh, sorry, mediums with Magnus on sauce. I just realised the ones of Kifu on hard, so that's going to be interesting to watch, see how long he goes. Of course, could be a safety car, so we'll need to wait and see what happens. But yeah. We're now seeing Thomas line up in the first place on the grid here at COTA, USA. For round 19 of Rayners Racing League FNR. Are you ready to go racing? I certainly am. Let's make it a good one, folks. 28 laps. Just for the last of the cars right up, and here we go. Alright, thanks, game. 5 red lights, and away we go! It looks like Draper has got a little bit of a better start. But no, in the second phase he bogs down instead, goes into third. Oh god. Looking like it's a bit of a clean race so far. Rayner goes a little wide, a little bit out, which means the Ferrari has to go to the inside. Everyone nicely so far, cleanly through. Ooh, we have a bit of a spinner. Bagos has spun. And rejoins last. But so far it's been pretty much clean racing. Interesting to see how it pans out from here, of course. RaynersRacingLeague up to 7th. Decent start so far for the Williams driver. Zaranite trying to make a move down the inside of bench. Farf up to 9th so far, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. There we go. Also no DRS for the first couple laps, but Zaranite going down. Let's see. And then the inside, round the outside, as Bagos has retired on the first lap, which has brought out the safety car. Bagos has retired on the exit of turn 10. Also not in the best of places, so we have a safety car on lap 1. Right. Any soft runners going to pit straight into the mediums? Like the top 10 ones. Doesn't see if anyone does. Oh, we have a couple diving to the pits. Draper going on to the from the mediums. Kuduti going on from the softs, probably to mediums, that's for sure. LH into 10th place so far. Right, so I know Farf isn't leading, I know it's Thomas. And I know we're not on lap 3. This game is brilliant. Well, we can get rid of that then out. Let's go on board with the actual leader of the race as it now starts to sell out. Oh, God. I do love when this game decides to look at the standings, but here we are. COTA, lap 2 behind the safety car. 26 laps to go after this one. It'll be interesting to see who can get their tyres, keep them up to warm. Thomas needs to catch it for the safety car a bit here. He's letting it get quite a bit away. First-second penalty for Sensno Kifu for hitting 7. I'm guessing because of the braking for that turn he went a little too much, means they both have 5-second penalties. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. Both got a 5-second penalty. Well, 5-second I don't know your pit stops and take. I'm if I'm not remembering correctly. There we go, we have the protected pit stop sponsored by AWS. One stop on lap 12, so we're about 11 laps away. Coming on to 10 laps away from the first pit stop, obviously for the medium runners. A couple have pitted early and probably gone on to mediums or hards. So let's take a look. We know a couple pitted at the end of this first lap. Benjamin Carter still on softs, Maverick still on softs. Draper and Magnus and Kajui all on mediums. All three of them have stopped. So yeah. If you're wondering what happened, Baggers lost it. If you're just wondering what happened, Baggers lost it here, just coming through the exit of turn 5. A little bit of contact, I think. Gained some damage, and then he went round to turn 10 and retired. So, yeah. Oh, that brought his safety car on lap 1. So, hopefully it'll be in the end of this lap. If not, we'll be going around one more, and it should be in at the end of lap 4, hopefully, at the latest. Just waiting for the message from the race directors letting us know when we can go racing. Thomas really letting the safety car get away. Not the best idea when you've got a bunch of drivers and not expecting you to slam the brakes on. But of course, safety car in this lap. Thomas now takes all the lead from the safety car and controls the pace. So we'll have 24 laps remaining to go racing. Hopefully no more incidents, but possibly with this nature of the track. A few mistakes and a couple of spins, but hopefully no more safety cars. We'll need to wait and see, of course. As the safety car comes in, let's have a look. The biggest gainer on lap 1 is Savant and Ellie44, both gaining 5 places. Rocca down 1. And of course Draper down 15 after pitting. So here we go. Thomas leads the field away. Just to see who has got the better of the starts as we see. I mean, it kind of looking like he could possibly go down the side of Rocca, and he does so quite nicely. And The Williams driver Gifu has picked up another 5-second penalty, meaning it'll take him up to a total of 10 seconds. Pardon me. But that was a beautiful penalty, as we now see Favre going down the inside of LH44. LH44 coming back at him through turn 8 into turn 9 they go. This could be interesting to see as we go on board with Favre coming down into turn 11. LH4 looking like he has to defend inside. Favre backs off. Rocca looking like a bit of a struggling up there, meaning LH44 and Favre could both get past him here. Coming down the straight into turn 12, Favre has got the power down a bit nicer as the game decides to not shows on board, but here we go. Favre goes down the inside and moved on. LH44 down 7, Favre up to 6. The way it's going for Favre, looks like he could be past Rocca by the end of this lap and possibly up to 5th. As Draper has got past Kajuti into 13th place while we were watching that pass. Thomas already with an 8 tenths of a lead over Stead, who's one second pretty much clear of the Maverick. However, front wing damage there on the right, as I think the Alfa Romeo Cyril has lost the whole right hand side of his front wing, so he's dropping down as otherwise, which obviously puts some of the drivers off. Let's see, Apex. Ooh, it was very close for Apex as the Alfa Romeos try and desperately get out of the way, but of course, very hard. We have a yellow flag in Sector 3. We know why. Yep. And that has caused both issues for Magnus and Kifu, which means they're pretty much going to be hoping for another safety car to come through. But LH44 still in 6th place, a bit of danger from behind from Zyron Knight, but of course we'll wait and see. As 4 people caught at the minute have penalties: Kajuti, Nismo Maxwell, Savant and Cyril. Right, so what's happening for the field right now? Thomas has a 1.4 second gap lead. Stead is currently only got an 8 tenths gap over the Maverick, who's in currently 3rd place. Of course, the Maverick on soft, meaning he is currently on the faster tyres. But it'll be interesting to see how he does. Far from 5th, chasing down Rocca. 6 times behind him. Thomas goes and says another fastest lap for 1:36, 7, 2, 3. But interesting to see if Favre can close that gap on Rocca this lap. Obviously we have one more this lap, and then DRS will be enabled next lap, of course, after the safety car peeled away 2 laps ago. LH44 7 tenths ahead of Zyron Knight. It'll be interesting to see Apex, obviously very close behind. Benjamin letting Rayner by, that's good team orders there down at McLaren. Faster car is Rayner at this stage, as Mr. McCarver then goes and picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. Not the best thing to do after you just let your teammate by, but Rayner can now hopefully try and bring that 2.5 second gap down to Apex, and it'll be closed on the Mercedes. And of course here comes Zyron Knight coming down the outside. And LH44 defends the inside, but who's going to get the better exit? And LH44 stays ahead at the current moment. And we have a yellow in Sector 3. Draper has no front wing. And the Williams driver has pulled into the pits and they have retired the car. Kifu is out. LH44 boxes. Don't know why. 7 laps. Oh, safety car, that's why. Never mind. Did not realise there was another safety car. 8 laps in, 2 safety cars down. So yeah, bit of a disappointing race so far, but That now means Cairo, Magnus, Draper and that all will close up, of course. Thomas's 1.2 second lead will now obviously disappear after obviously building that gap up after the first safety car. Controlling it nicely, but anyway, to see. Engine failure. Fair enough, felt. Could be an engine failure indeed. I'll never know when you try and wait and see what the Williams team say. But we do have our second safety car off the race. So yeah, let's have a look to see who are the biggest gainers off the first 7 laps. Thomas has kept his lead from start till now. Stead up 2, Maverick is up 3, Apex currently up the most with Nismo Maxwell by 10, Benjamin up 4, Kajui up 5, Rocca right now down by 5, Fars up 1 into 9, Savin up 8 from the 10th, LH is where he started. Zyra Knight is 4th, Draper right now 12th, along with Zyra of course, both pitted. So I read out that grid, but of course now with the safety car coming out, have a big chance of regaining some of those places. Rayners is currently where he is in 13th, and Magnus down 1 place in 16th. Everyone top 6 haven't stopped, 7 has stopped in 10th, and everyone else has stopped from Q duty down apart from 7th. But as we now see Stead pulling into the pits along with the Maverick. Just send that. Fair enough, Patrick, fair enough. So at the minute, Thomas, Apex, Benjamin, Cardiff, Nismo and 7 have all yet to pit. Surprised Benjamin hasn't taken his opportunity to pit and get off that set of softs. Of course, only a couple laps until the medium tyres are due in, but we have a few drivers that have gone straight on to the hard. So interesting to see what they can do here. Long way to go, but of course, anyway, see what happens. As we now get the no confirmation, safety car in this lap. 9 laps of racing, well, 8 laps of racing done. Be 20 to go when the safety car comes back in. So Kijui has got a 5-second penalty for Maxwell. Safety cars just don't go well when it comes to the restarts. So let's see if Thomas can do what he done last time. Obviously, different opponent this time. It's Apex behind him. He had the gap on Stead, but will Apex stay with him, or as he is waiting, safety car is in, and he goes at the same place, and Thomas spins out the last turn. Will not be good for Thomas. Looks like he could have won this race. Apex now leads as the soft window is now open between now 9 and lap 13. Interested to see who are the soft runners. Well, Benjamin's the only one really left. Pits. Nesmo comes diving down the inside and is into the lead. Nesmo takes the lead. Apex is like he's struggling a wee bit on those medium tyres at the start. Rocker back up to 5th, going down the inside of Kajui. Ice4 staying in 7th, of course. Savin just behind him. Let's see. A yellow flag in sector 2. And Rayners up to 8th. What a move for the inside. 2 cars, if I'm not mistaken, there for Rayners instead. Back up to 11th place. And Savin just cannot get his braking right at the moment, but of course. Instead going down there, so let's have a look here. We've got the wrong way. Sido trying to make a move around Draper. Draper running into the back of Rayners, so Sido and Draper both have wing damage. Rayner holding some of these guys up at the moment, but of course he won't mind that too much. There's been 2.5 seconds already down behind Zyro Knight. But the top 7 looking pretty feisty up there. LH04 up to 6th place now, 2 seconds behind, 2 tenths behind Benjamin. And has got him. Benjamin just hasn't got the traction down. LH44 up to 5th. Now just a second behind Rocco, of course. His top 3 really looking quite feisty out there. Nesmo, Apex, Maxwell, Rocca, all within a couple of seconds of each other. LH44 1.2 behind that, with Zyro Knights only trailing by a few tenths. Benjamin Cardiff, of course, 7th place, only a couple of tenths behind Zyro Knights, but gracious to see how he does it as looking to fix himself up. Another penalty. Doesn't be careful, he'll be stacking them up. We have a yellow in sector 2. And Rocca doesn't have any of his left end of his left wing, so it'll be interesting to see. And Rayner has retired. What has happened to Rayner? In the wall on the right side, just at the exit of turn 10. Well, 10 laps in, 3 safety cars. Well, lap 10 comes to the end of lap 10. Rayner, Kifu and Bagas all out. 3 safety cars down. We have a few far from now goes through to take the lead on the hard tyres. Of course. Quite a few drivers taking this minute to pit. LH44 right now finding himself currently in 2nd place with no penalties. If I'm not mistaken, not very many warnings. And looking like he could maybe challenge Farf for this, as Farf has got himself a penalty. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Matt Rayner,
Good evening, how are you?
you must be gutted after where you were.
Difficult race, yeah. The tyres, everything about the track, everything just, yeah, zero grip. But, yeah, I thought I was on for a good strategy. Then obviously, poor qualifying, started P13. I got up to P8 just then saw Roccatoni's Ferrari literally sideways, coming out of the end of the S's up, like, you know, it flicks uphill to the left.
Turn 9 into turn 10.
Yeah, so I was going up there, but my teammate had ran wide, so I was on the inside. So I was like trying to overtake my teammate, and then saw this Ferrari, and I tried avoiding the Ferrari whilst not trying to make contact with my teammate on the hard tyres, and I just started getting a bit of a tank slapper. It went right to left to right to left, and then eventually started sliding sideways down the grass and ripped my suspension off. So yeah. I'm now spectating with you. How's it been going?
I mean, 12 laps in, 3 safety cars, it's been quite entertaining.
I've never seen so many safety cars in a Friday night racing event. It's quite unknown. We've got Farf debuting today to check his speed, currently P1.
Alex 44 looking like, at the minute, looking like possibly a good challenge for the lead.
So this is the annoying thing, because as I crashed out, I was a second behind Ion Knight, who was about a couple of tenths behind LH. So I was on for, if I didn't crash the car then, because I was pretty much past my teammate and got past Rocker, I would have been in a net P4, which is the frustrating thing from P13. So
yeah. Well, you can't look at it that way.
Well, I am now. As a driver, I'm looking at it now going, hang on a sec. The two guys that were just in front of me on track, and Ion Knight, I've nearly passed into turn 1 on the safety car restart. I was literally millimetres off him. So yeah, looking at that where a potential podium was on the cards, I'm a little bit gutted.
The only issue with what you're saying is you caused the safety car, which caused this.
Well, that's very true, yeah. Yeah, looking at that, yeah. Oh dear. Onwards and upwards.
The only thing I've got to say, Thomas is looking like the most consistent, unfortunately crashing out with the last safety car.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas is the championship leader, so I can imagine him, you know, down in P9 now. He will quickly and soon battle back. He is on the soft compound tyre, so I can imagine a 2-star on. He's on the hard. I'm looking at Nismo.
Maverick.
Oh, big 5. Yeah, that's another one. Penalties as well. There's a lot of penalties being picked up, and I was one of the ones that had only got one warning. So again, I was doing quite well on penalties.
Here we go. Farson has control of the pace. Will he do what Thomas done and go in turn 19, or will he wait? Looks like Farf's gone just before turn 19. Looking like he's got a decent lead so far, VLH. It's looking like he's not up to the pace yet, but of course only needs to be over 3 seconds off Farf at the end of the race, but a long way to go. Both on hards. Both, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on fresh hards. Yes, they are. Farf and Elliott both set to go to the end of the race. Thoughts on they two going to the end of the race and the set of hards?
I think from lap 13, 15 laps, yeah, you probably get to the end on the hards and I'll feel fresh. Just looking at Stead, only 2 tenths off Iron Knight in P4.
They're in
holding position. There is a difference in tyre compound.
Oh, and Apex goes and get up another 3-second penalty. There you go. Stead looking to try and make a move through past our Knight and the Alpha Tower. Will he be able to do it down into turn 12? Hard braking, of course. Not very many of them in this track, so goes out. And looks like he may get the mediums done, but can Iron Knight hold on the outside? Of course, that's turn 13 has the inside, and does.
Yeah, he just lost a bit of the back end. Instead, in the racing point, was trying to get on the traction a bit too early, as his car is a little bit sideways. I think that's Apex in the Mercedes has just got past Nismo in the racing point. Red Bull, sorry. Closely followed by Ben Cardiff.
Your teammate?
My teammate, he's got Thomas in the Red Bull right on his gearbox on the hard compound. Ben did stretch out his softs for a long way into the race.
You gotta remember, he was also 3 safety cars in.
He was, yeah.
But Farf has got that gap. Now 44 picks himself up a 3-second penalty. Meaning that that top is very open now.
Thomas goes to the inside into turn 1. He's took Ben Cardiff, so he's up to P8 already. Got his teammate next in P7.
Will there be some multi-21? Is it multi-21 here at Red Bull?
Multi-21, sir. Multi-21.
Will Maxwell let him by, or will they fight?
No comprende.
It's going to be very interesting to see here what happens between the two Red Bull teammates. But Apex right on the back of Magnus coming down into turn 11. Magnus has the line so far, but Apex decides to not go for it. Of course,
Thompson instead the only two drivers without penalties at the moment.
Indeed, we have a yellow flag in sector 2. I think Cairo has hit the wall. And I think he has lost a bit of his front wing. Apex still behind Magnus right now. Pushing very hard, of course, both on the hards. Nesmo on the softs. That's quite an interesting strategy. So, definitely he's got to pit again. So, would it be worthwhile him letting Thomas go?
Just look. Race, it did say that a 2-stop was only around a second or 6/10 of a second slower than a 1-stop if you were to soft medium.
We're now in the good stage of the race. DRS has just been re-enabled. Will that be able to help Stead and Apex both get past their two drivers? So far, Iron Knights has just been able to keep ahead of Stead. Of course, in that racing points, powered by Mercedes. But oh, we got yellow flag in sector 3. What's happened? I think it's Kiduti and Draper. Don't know what. Any idea what happened to Draper?
Yeah, Draper was hit, or just touched coming into the braking zone at the end of the back straight. He then clipped the rear of me, so he had to box again. He was kind of pushed into me.
He's not had the luck this race.
He's not had the luck this season.
True, fair enough. But it looks like Stead and Apex not able to keep up with their two drivers, even with the DRS open down the back straight. LH44 got a 1.5 second lead, of course, but will not matter at the minute with Stead being 2 seconds behind him. So currently Stead is P2.
He's quick as fast into looking at comparing that to LH. LH currently P2 in the Drivers' Championship. Farth, like I say, is debuting today. LH was leading this race. And championship leader Thomas down in P8. It would be a cracking result.
LH obviously has said he doesn't like this track and he would wish he'd just gone back to FIFA. But here we go, Stead with the DRS coming down to the wide turn 1 up the hill. Goes down the inside. And it looks like it could be a job done as he shoves Iron Knights out, leaves the space, of course. Through turn 2, both down the inside. Into turn 3, who's going to have the line?
Farf's lost it, Farf's out. Oh, it's not Farf, sorry, Draper. Draper's lost the rear.
Yep, safety car, 4th safety car.
It's Draper, sorry, I thought I was on board with Farf, but obviously it just gone to the back of the grid, which was Draper.
As well?
No, it was just Draper on his own, lost it under traction.
Because Savant's lost
no
it as
traction
well.
control in that Mercedes.
Savant's retired as well. Ooh, it's 4 laps. Right now we've had 4 laps between every safety car.
Not ideal, probably one of the worst races for stop starting we've seen this season. 19 rounds in, and I don't think we've seen so many safety cars.
My first time on the comms and it ends up with 4 safety cars.
Look at the Scottish, is that what they say? Look at the...
Oi! Listen you! Get the hell out of here if that's what you're gonna say!
It could be a bad omen from Farf. You know, he's joined and obviously a couple of laps into the safety car, he's got 4 seconds clear. He might be the omens trying to keep the pack close to him.
Who is anyone going to pit now and go mediums? As that will be an option, of course. Farf's coming in.
Farf, he's coming in.
LH is coming in. Iron Knight is coming in. Stead's coming in.
See, it's what are they going to do now?
Apex is
Like
staying out. Thomas and Apex are both staying out. Nismo's in.
After the safety car, there's only going to be about 7 or 8 laps left. Yeah.
Rocco's, Maverick, Cairo's in, and could you? Okay.
I don't think softs are the best option. I think you're going to struggle on the softs at the
LH on
end,
softs, Farf on softs. LH has jumped Farf. LH has jumped Farf in the pits.
So whether Farf had a bit of wing damage.
Did you drive through?
Picks up a drive through penalty speed under the safety car. So LH and Farf down to P6 and P7.
Provisional P1 and 2, depending on what happens in front of them.
Thomas, I can imagine, will go to the end on them hard tyres. Apex as well.
Yeah, Thomas, of course, should.
Can F1 Farf and LH on them soft compound tyres utilise the final 10 laps, 11 laps, and catch Thomas and Apex on the hard? What sort of a gap can they create between that mid pack of P3 to potentially like P5, P6?
It's up to Apex now. Can he keep Thomas behind him? Thomas has looked fast all race. One mistake around the safety car, but can Apex keep him behind him? Last time Thomas was in the top 3, he was first with Apex behind him, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here between those two. Your teammate currently provisional P3, with Thomas the only one without pens. So it's going to be very interesting indeed. Your thoughts on what's going to happen in the final 10 laps, Matt? Oh, you're right there, Patrick. A lot of DNFs. We're down to 11 drivers.
Yeah, apologies there. Just sorting something out. I can imagine Farf and LH battling their way through. You've got obviously the top 2 on the hards, and then Ben Cardiff, I think he's going to be slow and struggling towards the end of the race on their mediums. Same with Rocker and Maverick, the 3 medium runners. So I can see LH and Farf quickly passing the next 3 in front of them. As Maverick peels off from P5 into the pit, so he has realised it's not the tyre to get into the end. So he's going on to he'll probably go onto the softs now. That's obviously 1 position less. So yeah, it's how fast they can clear Rockatoni and Ben Cardiff and get onto the hard runners of Apex and Thomas. And again, whether Apex and Thomas slow each other down, or they can create a gap before the fast soft runners get onto the gearbox. So
it'll be quite interesting, of course. Of course, this is the 4th safety car of today's race. We lost Bagos on lap 1. I can't say the Williams name. Kifu?
Season. Yeah, Season we call him. Season
on lap 3. You, of course, recently on lap 12. Draper and Savin both bringing out this safety car, of course. Well, Savin retiring just after Draper brought the safety car out. Cairo retired in the pits, and Kajuti retired in the pits. So we've lost 8 drivers. No, 6. 7. Mass? Brain? Matt, help? How many have we lost?
Yeah, I'm just sorting out the graphics ready for the race on Sunday. We've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have lost 7 drivers so far, unfortunately.
I went from 10 to 8 to 7. My brain just didn't work.
Yeah. But 18 minus 11 leaves 7.
Yeah.
Or you could add 7 onto 11, which might be a bit easier for you. Also accumulates to 18.
Alright, smarty.
Depends how you look at it. There's many ways you can do math.
Alright, thanks for the lesson.
So Maverick and Thomas, if you add them together, that equals 2. So 2 drivers currently running without penalties.
The only 2 in the field means Maverick, if he stays close, could jump to 2nd. If he can get his way through the field quick.
It's a very difficult circuit to keep off the curbing. It's effectively a bit like France, especially through Sector 1, just a big flat car park with painted lines.
Okay, let's just have a look. How many penalties have 3 for Apex, 9 for Benjamin, 11 for Rocca, 3 for LH, 3 for Far, 3 for Zyron Knight, 12 for Maxwell, and 3 for Magnus instead. So a couple of big penalties, of course, but there's a few small ones. As Apex leads the field through the last turn to restart on lap 19. 10 laps to go here at COTA. Rocca's already gone past LH as F1 Farf going down the inside, 3 wide into turn 1. LH a little late on the brakes there. Nearly going into the back of Benjamin, but Farf coming around the outside off turn 2 here. And nicely for the inside of turn 3, LH backs out and lets Farf go. So Farf currently 4th place, with LH 5th, Rocca 6th, Stead in 7th, 8th, sorry, Knight, Izar Knight in 7th, Magnus 10th, Maxwell in 10th, and the Maverick currently running.
Farf goes to the inside out on the exit of turn 9. He's got past Ben Cardiff, so he's now up to P3 on the softs. These guys on the hards.
LH44 now going down the inside off Benjamin, down the straight, pulls back behind to get his slipstream. Let's see, Farf looking to go down. Nope, never mind. Thomas is going down the inside off Apex into turn 12. And Farf has gone down and gone.
Farf on them tyres, nearly 2 seconds a lap faster than the Delta.
It's gone down the inside.
He chucks it down 14. The inside, round the outside.
And LH44 going down the inside off turn 15 on Apex. A little bit of a touch. But now looking like to go around the outside off turn 16, 17 and 18. And has the job done.
I think there's a slight bit of contact there between LH and Apex as Apex just grabs the car as it was sliding round that long sweeping right hander. He's got it recovered there.
LH44 now looking to possibly make a move on Thomas. Of course, no DRS until lap 21. No, lap 22. So Thomas might have the straight line speed down the straights, but will LH44 be able to catch him and pass him out of the traction zones, of course? I said, just gone past Magnus. Magnus coming back at him. And unfortunately, instead, shuts the door and I'm through turn 3. LH44 still 2 tenths on the back of Thomas. Looking like Farf. Oh, Farf now picks up another 3-second penalty, and he's got 6 seconds. LH44 maybe looking to make a dive bomb, just decides better not and backs out of it. Through turn 11, they go down the straight. Thomas playing the weaving game, going from the other side. Try to break the toe, of course, but has that swing the pace. Rocca looking like to make a move down the inside off your teammate at the minute. And later on the brakes, and Rocca up to 5th. Stead has also gone past Zarnites, as Zarnites has gone very wide at the exit off turn 12. And is now out of the points in 11th.
So LH has just chucked it down the inside of Thomas, so he's got the position into P2. But looking at this, they've done what? Is this the second lap? Full speed race lap since the restart?
Be the second, yeah.
Be the second lap, so that'll be 10 laps on these softs. To be quite honest, I think 7 to 8 laps is about your limit.
DRS enabled, meaning Thomas, if he can stay in that DRS zone, will obviously have the advantage down the straights. But LH44 might have the traction. Farford's really decided that he does not want to be in any of these battles and has buggered off. 4 seconds down the road. Magnus now gets past Benjamin up into 5th. Stead has also got past him into 6th. Yeah, Stead as well,
so he's struggling on them mediums.
Maverick looking like he'd probably like to get a piece of the action now. Looking like he might make a move down here into turn 11 as Benjamin really is struggling to get the power down. I also just noticed Maxwell went back onto the mediums after pitting.
It's probably not a bad shout, to be honest. I think the soft tyres are going to struggle a lot, especially towards the last two or three laps, but whether they can just eke them out and get towards the end and create the gap now.
Magnus once again has had a decent race from 16th to 5th, but can he keep Stead behind him in that racing point? Stead's looking quite pacey. but Magnus seems to just have the traction out of all the traction zones. Of course, both of these drivers on the soft tyres, but with DRS, will it make a difference here? Instead, close the gap through turn 20. Interesting, of course, as they come across with the DRS open. Moves to the outside. As Magnus looks to close the door, goes a little deep into turn 1, leaving the door open for Stead to do the switchback. Coming through turn 2, round the outside, and done. Stead up to 5th. Good move there from the Racing Point driver as Rocca retires, meaning there's 10 drivers left. Everyone's getting points. But it's all the question, how many points will he be getting? Thomas losing a bit of touch here with LH44, who's looking to put a bit of a gap between him and the Red Bull driver. With Apex falling a little bit back. But here we go, Magnus diving down the inside and spinning out. I think it was a little bit late on the brakes there, meaning, fortunately for Magnus, it was looking good for him, but drops down to 8th place. So where do you think Thomas is going to finish? Second or first? With Farf with 6 seconds of penalties and LH with 3.
I think we just need to monitor it for the next couple of laps. He's still hovering around the 1.92 seconds of LH, and he hasn't got any penalties. So I think for every lap he can stay there, it's going to benefit him, as the soft tyres are going to go off. You know, the guys on the softs are going to start struggling. Now, whether Thomas can start coming back at LH and Farf, that's to be seen. But I think he's definitely in for a podium, and if he can just stay, like I say, within 3 seconds of LH, he'll get him on the penalty. So we'll see what happens. A couple of laps for lap 25, 26, we should, I think, be able to predict a winner, or at least get an exciting race.
Well, here we go. Stead hoping to maybe get a chance here. Down exit at turn 11 with the DRS open. Can he catch up? Apex coming down to turn 12, closing ever so slightly. Apex moving slightly to defend. Inside is open, but Stead thinks better off it, backing out. Apex just able to keep the pace. So give us your inside view of this. How do you feel with the hards? Do you feel like they'd be starting to get better than the softs now?
I'm not too sure, to be honest.
Well, what was your view on the hards?
Slippy, very slippy. The delta difference is quite high, but the softs go off so quickly.
Yeah.
So it's whether I think if Thomas was on mediums right now, and they were the same age as LH's softs.
I'm just going to interrupt you here. We got Stead going down the inside of Apex, down the front straight. Fourth place, sorry. Looks like he could have this move done unless he breaks a lot too late, and looks like it's done. Stead 4th, Apex 5th. Stead's having a good race, so sorry about that, Matt, continue.
Forgot where I was at just now. So yeah, it's the delta difference. Like, they are so much quicker. The difference in compounds are quite significant around this circuit, but the amount of laps the tyres can manage, again, it's so significant. So as you can see, Thomas, last time we spoke 2 laps ago now, still at 1.92 seconds, so it's not changing. Farth, on the other hand, 6.7, he's just absolutely despaired. His tyres are of similar age to LH, yet, you know, it just shows his superior talent and skill, should we say. Now 7 seconds clear of P2 man LH. So yeah, Thomas, I think this is going to start hotting up for the final podium position. It's going to be a battle served on track. I think
Stead's
2 more laps he's going to be within
the
DRS.
gap down. Now Stead's got past Apex, he's slowly bringing that gap down. 2/10 this lap so far. 3/10, so I'll say. So It's going to be interesting indeed to see what happens. Of course, Thomas the only one with no penalties so far. But as we do come into the business end, we just start lap 25 here on board with Thomas. Closing down LH44 with Stead, quickly closing down himself. He's already taken a second out of him. LH44 goes and picks up another 3-second penalty. Meaning LH is out of the podiums. Wow. LH has just gone from second to fourth. Possibly fifth, depending on how quickly Apex can stay with them, but at the current minute, it's not looking too good for LH44 staying in podiums. Still a good race, of course, from 11th to 5th. It's not bad, of course. But with Stead closing in roughly 5/10 a lap. It's going to be interesting to see what Stead can do. Stead already can also see the back of the Red Bull of Thomas. Currently turns 15 now. Definitely showing he's got way more pace in that racing point on these soft tyres. Definitely would say Stead to win the race if Farf wasn't 8 seconds clear, but of course Farf's just put the power down and he's gone after that safety car. But indeed, 1.6 seconds is now the gap between Thomas and LH, and similar gap between Stead and Thomas. So Rayner is looking like it's going to heat up between Stead and Thomas for second place.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Obviously, Stead and LH seem to, I believe they pitted on a very similar lap. But let's have a quick look and get some detail of the tyre.
8 laps each. 8 laps for Farf, LH and Stead.
But Stead just seems to have so much more grip and confidence at this point in this stage in the Grand Prix. He's closing in Thomas 1.2 seconds, who's 1.2 seconds back on LH. So they're both catching LH, but I think at this point it's, I don't know what difficulties LH is carrying, but he's a lot slower at this point than what Stead is. So
he's got 6 seconds of penalties as well.
Yeah, with the difference in penalties, I can see potentially Stead getting a solid podium here.
Actually, I'm getting a second place. He's now in the DRS of Thomas.
He'd have to pass Thomas and get 3 seconds clear, which is the difficulty he's got.
Oh, true, actually. Yeah, thinking of that. It's got 1 lap, 2 laps to go.
He kind of needs to get past Thomas now, who Stead's got the DRS on Thomas, who, for his benefit, hasn't yet got it on LH. Still 1.1 seconds. He's closing that in extremely quickly. I think if Stead can get to the back straight, while Thomas is still outside of the DRS of LH, he should be able to pass and then see what he can do in a bit of clean air to try and pass LH.
5/10's now the gap between.
Is he going to get 3 seconds clear?
I don't think he will get 3 seconds, but one thing for sure, front 3 is looking like it's going to be Farf, Thomas and Stead on the podiums. It's been a good race to watch, although a lot of incidents, of course.
Struggled to get on power there. He's a bit of a kick out at the rear. He's slower. He's lost a couple of tenths. He's got the DRS wing wide open now. I think he's a bit too far back. He's got the overtake on. He's used all his energy, down to 2% before the end of the straight. So I think was that his opportunity? He just maybe used a bit too much too early.
Now Thomas is now just under a second though off LH44. Gap going up obviously through the turns, as LH44 has a little bit more grip going through every turn. But Thomas just seems to be putting the pressure on here. Stead has now got himself another 3-second penalty. Meaning that could be, that's going to be 4th place for Stead.
That's it. You see, don't you, like how minimal it is. You know, it is
unless he
strict,
somehow gets past.
It is strict.
unless he somehow was to get past Thomas and LH on the last lap of the race. It's 4th place for Stead, which to be fair, not too bad of a race. 3rd place looking like for LH44 as he currently sits 7 tenths ahead of Thomas. We have a yellow flag in sector 3 as Nismo spins it on the last turn.
On the final corner, yeah.
But Farf going down into turn 11. Let's just stay on board though with Stead, Thomas and LH, the battle of Thor. Well, 2nd place, even though it's done. Still be interesting to see what happens here.
It could all change, depending on what. Thomas is going to have a good, lovely run now on LH. I can see an overtake coming at the end of this straight. It's what if Stead can capitalise on any argy-bargy from these two. Championship leaders, top 2 are there. It wasn't close enough though.
Well, it's been a fantastic race to watch. 28 laps here, round COTA. Closing in on the last few turns off this lap. On board here with Farf as he comes round turn 19 now. To finish off our great and exciting race, of course, 10 cars have retired, 4 safety cars. And Farf comes home in 1st place. 12 seconds clear of LH44, who is currently 5 tenths clear of Thomas, who, with penalties, will come 2nd, of course. Meaning, Thomas will be on the podium in 2nd, Stead takes 3rd, LH takes 4th. Apex comes round the corner, will he take 5th? At the minute it's 5th, what will Maverick? Maverick goes 5th, Apex 6th, Magnus 7th. Benjamin comes home in 8th place. And Iron Knight and Maxwell round out the final 2 positions off the top 10. Who got the fastest lap? I'll wait and see. But yeah, well, that was an interesting race, wasn't it, Matt? Oh, driver of the day goes too far from the game. Done a decent job from where he finished. Of course, 10th to win in the race. LH44 went from 11th to 4th. Also, Thomas started first. He'll be feeling a little bit gutted that he wasn't able to capitalise on that pole position that he got. But of course, congratulations to the race winner, Farf. And yeah, it was a fun race. Congratulations also to Stead for coming 3rd, which I'm sure he'll be very proud of. And yeah, fastest lap was Farf, so he takes 26 points. Is that right, Rayner? 26 points to Farf. As for 4th with the Maverick 5th, Apex 6th, Magnus 7th, Benjamin 8th, Iron Knight 9th, Nismo 10th, and classified results from, well, the non-finishers is Rocca in 11th, the D 12, Cairo, Ground 7, Draper, Rayner, Gifu and Bagos round out the bottom half. It's very unlucky, of course, with a few of the drivers, and yeah, brilliant race from Farf, starting 10th, finishing 1st, LH finishing 11th, starting 11th, Apex started 14th, came 6th, Simon Magnus started 15th, and Nismo up 6 places, so it was a good race all round, and yeah, can't deny it. Some great racing, of course. Be quite interesting also to see what all happens next week, but yeah. If Rayner comes back in time, you can say anything you want, any last words, Rayner?
Oh, definitely looking forward to next week. Quickly move on to that one. That was probably the worst race of the season I've had so far. I don't particularly. A lot of the drivers I've mentioned already don't like this. They don't like the track. They don't like how it's laid out. I didn't feel like it's. I don't think it's a bad. I don't personally feel like it's a bad track. Even my qualifying lap didn't feel like a bad lap. But my lap time's just so far off my usual pace. I'm normally around P5. You know, I've only won one race this season. But yeah, difficult track, difficult race. Yeah, on to the next.
If I'm not mistaken, if it's a calendar, is it Brazil next? No. What's next?
Probably Mexico, I believe. Is it Mexico, Brazil, then Abu Dhabi?
If you're not mistaken, I think it is.
Yeah, not raced them three yet, so...
Then just going to see what happens in general, but yeah. Any last words to end off the stream?
Yep. Let's get off and catch you all next week.
Thank you everybody, it's been Kiriano here, and goodbye.